Welcome Strategy Battle Gamers to another GBHL YouTube video. You're here with your host GBHL Damian, and this is Matchup of the Day. So yes, indeed, welcome to Matchup of the Day. As ever, I'm your host, GBHL Damian, and I'm joined this week by...
Jay Acharya.
Once more. How you doing, Joe?
Yeah, very, very good. Happy to be back in the pundit's chair again.
Absolutely, and what a chair.
What a chair.
How is it?
Quite comfortable, actually, yeah.
So, Jay, you were here for Group 1.
I was, yeah.
Way back when.
The very start of the whole tournament.
And you'll be joining us again for this week for the quarterfinals.
Ooh.
The knockout stage.
Exciting.
It is very exciting. Obviously, we've had the standard 2-week gap between the group stage and the quarterfinals.
Give the players a bit of a rest.
Absolutely.
You know, recover their energy again.
Yeah. But we are now back with the knockout stages,
Yeah.
and you should be seeing now the quarterfinals this week, the semi-finals next week, and then the third round playoff and the final the week after that. It's extremely exciting if you like toy soldiers. So yes, welcome back to Jay. Lots to talk about.
There is.
So first off, you joined us for Group 1.
I did.
We're now at the quarterfinals. I would like to ask you of your. You've now seen how the other groups played out.
Yeah.
How did you made your predictions? You've got your notes there that you put away in the envelope. I still have no idea what you put. For the quarterfinals, how many of the quarterfinalists did you get right?
So out of the 8, I ended up getting 6 of them right, which I thought was pretty good. Especially
very good.
Having not seen any games, not seeing how any of the teams played out. So the ones I got right were Goblin Town, Minas Tirith, Rohan, Hobbits, Isengard, and the Morannon Orcs. And the 2 that I got wrong were obviously Easterlings, which I predicted finished second in Group 1, and Angmar, which disappointed me, to be honest.
Disappointed a lot of people.
But
so you didn't guess Lorien
and Woses.
And Woses, okay.
Yeah,
so Lorien and Woses were your surprise.
They were.
6 out of 8 though, very impressive.
Not bad, yeah.
I only got 5 myself. I think Tom might have got 6, I can't remember. Don't know what Scots and Sam got because it's in their sealed envelope. Well done there. So, yeah, Lorien getting through. What a shocker that was.
I was surprised. Didn't back him at all. But played out quite well, didn't it, in the end for them?
Very much. Shocking result for a minnow team.
It was, yeah.
Ultimately,
does that ring any bells?
Yeah, reflecting on it, do you think that Lorien getting through is a bigger upset than Iceland beating England?
To be honest, no.
No, I don't think. Well, I mean, in many ways, I think the Iceland result was depressingly predictable.
It unfortunately was.
And at the time of recording, it is 4-0 to France.
4-0 to France.
Yeah, so France are explaining just how they should have done it. So maybe, I reckon, in the quarterfinals, someone is going to smash Lorien up and explain to
how
the various members of the groups how it should have done, much of the way France are explaining to England.
But to the more important game.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, those were kind of shockers.
Yes,
and Woes is getting through.
Woes as well, yeah.
At the expense of Sharky's Rogues, I'm guessing. Was that your?
No, it was Easterlings.
Well, in that group?
Group 1.
Oh yeah,
both Group 1.
Yeah. Sorry.
Where they shot through the horse at the
same go. Yeah, same mistake I made there. Cool.
But overall, not too bad.
So 6 out of 8 quarterfinalists.
Yep.
So the big question, Jay.
Yep.
You picked your winner right at the start of Group 1.
I did. Yep.
Are you still in the tournament?
I am.
Oh.
I am.
It's
it
pretty
wasn't
exciting.
Easterlings or Angmar.
Okay.
Thankfully.
Cool.
I was thinking about putting Angmar as a little wild card, you know, with the whole Paralyze in there.
I think that's what Tom said. He was thinking of a cheeky outside bet for Angmar.
Us pundits are quite experienced, you know. We read into the game quite well.
And they decide not to make
the decision. But in the end, yep. So my potential winner is still in the tournament.
Excellent.
At the time.
Well, so as is mine.
Exciting times.
And we don't know about the Scots and Sam again. So that's very exciting. So today we have the first 2 quarterfinalists for you. By the end of the day, you will know who one semi-final pairing are, and we'll be discussing both those matches. As ever on Matchup of the Day, we haven't seen those matches yet. But Before we do get on with the quarterfinals, we have a serious issue to discuss.
We do, yeah.
The first time that we've been able to address it on Match of the Day.
Yeah.
And it is #JFD.
AKA Justice for Dale.
Yeah. So Justice for Dale. I mean, this. Wow.
I mean, from being something so small, it's now become a major thing.
I mean, I think myself and Tom in the country, I don't think we didn't even look at that dice.
You didn't know. I mean, it all from after you finished recording, it all spiraled up and it's become a massive campaign.
Absolutely, it's sometimes what happens when the fans get hold of something.
Yeah.
So I'm sure everyone who's watching the World Cup is aware.
Yeah.
Justice for Dale was to do with the Group 4 match.
Yeah.
Third round match between Dale and Angmar.
Yeah.
Where an Angmar model struck down the Dale captain. He took his fate roll.
Yeah.
He rolled a 2.
Yeah.
And Dale died. Dale died? Well, in many ways they did. The captain died.
Yeah.
And in doing so, sent Dale out of the tournament. Now, what has since happened, and we can show you actually. We can have a look at the dice. This came from. This is the dice that was rolled for the fate point. Okay, so I think we can see there. That was the dice, and the argument was it was cocked by the rules of the tournament. It was cocked. It was actually with you in Group 1 that we looked at.
It was, yeah, we did. We looked at an example where it favoured Jamie, wasn't it?
Yes, I believe so. Now, this seemingly innocuous dice has led to a whole campaign.
It has, yeah.
#Justice for Dale. The group which Hobbit League's Facebook page's group is the Justice for Dale banner. People have been clamouring and supporting them and starting Dale armies and posting up photos of Dale and you know, is Girion sold out because of the injustices done to Dale? Yeah, indeed. People have looked at, look what's already happened to Dale, burnt to the ground by Smaug. They're having a bad time with it. Jay, what are your thoughts?
Now, whilst I love the campaign and I love that the fans are really getting behind a team that they love, I don't think it would be a fair reflection, unfortunately, if they did a rematch or if they did a re-roll or if Dale had a second chance as such.
Okay.
That's my take.
So do you think the dice is cocked?
By the rules of the game that they're playing on, yes, it would be cocked.
It is cocked.
I think it is because they in one of the games they said that terrain piece, if the dice lands on there, I can't remember which group this was, but they said no, we'll re-roll it.
I can confirm for a fact that I will not be going through looking for that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But obviously during the game they were happy to let it stand. Whilst the dice wasn't cocked, as in it wasn't, you could easily rest another dice on top of it. By the way they've been playing it, that terrain piece would count as a cocked dice because if any time the dice landed on there, they would replay it.
And both players were happy with it.
They were happy with it.
Harry rolled it.
He didn't have a problem with it.
No, he didn't. I like to say that here in the Match of the Day studio, we are entirely impartial to this.
Yeah.
There were some filthy accusations made. They were somehow in myself and Tom's interests to put them through. We record after the fact.
We do, yeah.
We have no impact whatsoever.
Can't go back and retrospectively change what happened.
But as you said, the campaign got quite a lot of coverage.
Backing and
I think I can bring this up for you now. But there was actually a vote on the GBHL page to whether or not it should be replayed. And Justice for Dale /replay got 77 votes, whereas Leave It As It Is No Replay got 34 votes.
What were you part of for that particular vote?
I didn't vote. I didn't think it'd be right.
As a guest pundit, I thought I could vote.
Yeah,
so I did, and I voted for no replay and leave the result as it is.
But a result of essentially 2-1.
Yeah.
In favour of replay.
But do the fans have enough power to change the outcome of a game when it's already happened?
This is the thing. When you get to a situation where suddenly after the fact, more people are saying, "Hang on, that's not the result we wanted. We should do this again."
Yeah.
Can you do it again?
Could we do it again for England against Iceland?
No. There's nothing else recently that this has happened with that springs to mind. But suddenly you're waking up the day after, you're looking at the result, thinking, "Hang on, that's a disaster in every possible sense.
Let's try and change the outcome.
Let's try and change that."
Yeah.
And it's too late. Maybe you should have
brought it up earlier.
Brought it up earlier, Maybe you should have gone and watched the game at the first place and said, "Hang on, Harry, re-roll that, mate.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to regret that, and so are my children."
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, even if they did re-roll that one dice, what's to say it wouldn't be a 1 or a 2 again? You know,
It's
there
absolutely
is
true.
only
Yeah.
a 1 in 3 chance.
Yeah.
What would the fans do then if they didn't?
Exactly.
re-roll it?
Do you just keep
Do you keep
replaying it? Do
re-rolling
you
it till
keep
you get the
replaying
result
it?
you
Yeah,
want?
exactly.
It doesn't work
You
like
know,
that.
sometimes if you make the mistake, you just got to live with it.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah.
In SPG, in this
Of
specific,
course,
yeah,
yeah.
of course. So so there we go. But there was actually a statement released from up north, which was this was posted by one Mr. Jamie Gibbon. TIFA chairman Bep Slatter has come out with this statement in regards to the Justice for Dell campaign and the call for flat dice technology. I do not think, and the TIFA Congress are of the same view, that you can afford to stop the game. And with the camera system Cocked Eye showed us, there is a delay in announcing the decision and the situation can change. The chip in the die technology, which Mithril and Khazad trialled, remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, was not accurate enough. And the problem is that you have to put the chips in millions of dice made by lots of different companies. It's fair enough. The International Wargame Association was of the opinion that the SPG will remain for the time being a game for human beings with errors on the field of play. We will try to improve referees, but you will never erase errors completely. Cannot change the outcome of this match, and TIFA stand by the decision that the referee made at the time.
What's your take on that then?
I agree with that.
Yeah, I completely agree with it as well. I think it's a
The
fair.
The game will have errors.
Yeah.
They have to, the refs were there. They saw
Yeah,
the result. They can
they
only
did.
do so much.
It is.
What do you think of the suggestion of entirely replacing the players with robots?
It's the first time I've ever heard of that particular.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's a shocker, isn't it?
It is a shocker. Yeah, I mean, we'll lose.
That's
a
the
bit,
suggestion, that the robots would know if
and they
whether
wouldn't
or
make
not
any human errors.
exactly.
We'd lose a bit of the tension, wouldn't we?
Well,
And
we would certainly. We wouldn't be playing.
No,
Yeah.
of course. And who knows? Could the robots change the way they dice roll and always, argue that that's a cocked dice?
They probably
roll?
wouldn't even roll dice. They could just do some sort of algorithm
Precisely.
to come up with
And
numbers,
as
random
fans,
number generator.
because though we're pundits, we're still fans of the game.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll have the same effects of
No.
watching a game like that
yeah.
compared to watching
And
actual.
You also probably wouldn't want to watch a game that you can't play yourself because you're not a
Absolutely.
robot.
Absolutely.
So, for those reasons, here in the matchup in the day studio, we're saying we're supporting the decision of the TIFA Congress.
Yeah.
I think it was. They're saying that obviously that you're hearing it here, I think on video for the first time, but the match will not be replayed. We must stand by the results, and hopefully the fans will understand that.
So Dell did finish third. Lothlorien did go through in second place,
Indeed,
or
they
first
did.
place, or whatever the standings were.
Which brings us nicely to the
Yeah.
quarterfinals.
It does, yeah.
So, as ever, we haven't watched the games,
No.
and today we will be looking at the winners and runners-up of Group 3 and 4.
Okay.
So our quarterfinals for today are Lothlorien versus the Morannon Orcs, and Druiden, or the Woses, versus Rohan. So, Jay, can I ask you to call those for me, please? Lothlorien versus Morannons. Who have you got going through?
Ooh. I didn't even have that matchup on my particular pre-predictions, but looking at it now, you've got to back. I think I've got to back the Morannons to win. Though Lothlorien have got one bow, I can't see one bow doing enough damage before the lines clash.
I agree, but we've been hurt before.
We have been hurt before.
Can Lorien make this the most unlikely of escapes?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but I think I've got to go with my gut instinct and think that Morannons
Yeah.
will hold out.
I've got Morannons going through on that, even though something's telling me this is where you
could
put
be-
your bet.
Yeah, this is where
This
you
is where you
place
put your
bet.
cheeky.
Your
This is
underdog,
your Willis.
This
This is absolutely
yeah,
Willis.
Yeah.
I had £10 on Willis against Federer, just for the just on the off chance. Didn't work. And I
Worth a
fear-
try.
Yeah, absolutely, I
Worth a
agree.
try. Strange things have happened.
well, indeed.
In sport and in SPG.
A lot of strange things about this happened in sport recently.
But yeah, I do think the Morannons will have enough on them. More
Yeah.
bodies, defense 6. If they do get into combat, they've got a lower fight, but if they win a fight, they're probably going to wound, they're probably going to kill.
I think the Lothloriens have had a glorious campaign, but this is where it ends.
This is where it ends, yeah.
What about the Woses versus Rohan?
This is a very, very tough one to call.
Very tough match.
Two very similar armies in terms of they've both got
Lots of shooters.
lots of shots. I think this is a really tough one to call. I'm sitting on the edge here, but
Because you didn't even have Woses at this stage.
I didn't know. They've completely surprised me, and just because they've surprised me,
I say that, neither did I.
but the fact that they surprised us both means you can't write them off.
Mhm.
You know, they could put off a surprise. It wouldn't really be a surprise considering how well they played in Group 1. But I do think, whilst the throwing weapons are probably a bit better, then while the Woes' blowpipes are probably a bit better than throwing weapons, I feel if the lines clash, I think Rohan will have just about enough to deal with the Woes'. But having said that, Eowyn's not particularly great as a captain.
Nope.
I think we'll go with Rohan.
Going Rohan.
I think I'm going to go with Rohan.
I've got Rohan going through here, which I believe was, it's hard to remember now, but I think was a kind of agreed roughly with David and Chris, the Scots, that week, I think. And we were talking about that. Just bearing in mind, just thinking that the throwing weapons, they should have more chances to throw them by moving. Yeah. And if they lose priority, they can move away and throw.
Absolutely.
And that sort of thing.
But equally, if the throwing weapons do hit, they're more likely to wound as well.
Yeah.
You know, but
so I'm going with Rohan for that.
I'll go with Rohan.
So we have no division in the studio tonight.
Not at all. We
have Rohan going through.
Both in agreement.
Cool. So with that, we're now going to go and watch those games, and we'll come back after we have.
Yeah.
And so we are back, having watched the games. The less said about our predictions, the better, but we'll get to that as and when. So the first game of the day was Rohan versus the Woes.
Yeah.
And it was tricky, that one, definitely.
It was, yeah. We
said it was 50-50,
but we did go for Rohan.
Did we say there was a 50-50?
Oh, I said it was 50-50.
Were we that called, yeah?
I don't know.
Well, we both plumped for Rohan, and the Woes took it. Well done to Roses. I know the Woes are... I didn't have them through the group stage, but they were coming out... They were coming outside favourite.
No, they're doing a Wales or doing an Iceland.
They are indeed. They are doing a Wales. Yeah, they're not doing an Iceland anymore.
No, not anymore.
Just got smashed 5-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely doing a Wales. I noticed in that game there were lots of references to cocked dice.
There were
from Giblin.
I wonder what they were hinting at.
I think maybe they've been stung.
I think they
by
have.
the Dale gates and not.
I think they've learnt their lessons though.
Yeah, but I also think, is it a coincidence that Jamie went to America for 2 weeks? You know,
yeah.
Is that? I don't think we can overlook the emotional impact that certainly had on the guys. You could see that they were very worried.
Yeah.
Wrist slapped once, happens again. There's going to be an absolute outrage. I think you saw, based on the reaction, a strong desire for them to make it very clear what was and what wasn't a cocked dice.
Yeah.
So well done to them for that. Started off with Eowyn weathering an absolute storm of blowpipes, which could they lost, so it doesn't prove crucial.
Right course to go for her though and not take out the numbers?
I think so, because the defence 3 and the might.
Yeah.
It's worth taking out.
Yeah.
But yeah, she survived.
She did, yeah.
Sort of, I don't know if she did 5-10, but the best part of 10 they kept.
She took a wound, didn't she? But she passed
fate,
one fate.
Passed one fate there. And all told, the Rohan shooting did kill 3 Woses, which is kind of weird.
Not too bad.
No, definitely. Honest, it's a big swing. And this game basically came down to one moment.
It did,
didn't it? And
it did. We were happy.
Yeah, well, it's a dual thing. It would have been in the highlights reel anyway.
Yeah.
So we've got this. We'll show you. And now it's this spectacular 4 dice bosh from Jamie.
Gone is unsurprisingly calling a heroic combat with his first point of might.
Second, you cannot contest the heroic.
Oh, I can remember, didn't I? Second. White dice are gone.
I
guess a 5. White dice are gone. 6s. So everyone needs 5s. Not trapped though. White dice are gone. Oh!
White dice are gone.
So there we saw Jamie spectacularly messing up a heroic combat. Garn with 2 dice and 2 Woses. Needs to get a 5 to win the fight, and rolls a 2 highest with Garn with 2 might.
Yep.
And so wastes a might on a heroic combat.
Yep.
Doesn't kill the Rohan warrior.
No, doesn't have enough might to
influence it. Yeah.
No.
Huge swing towards Rohan.
Yep. We thought that's it. Heroic combat failed, and out of nowhere,
as we were kind of saying, as essentially we didn't hear because we were cheering and laughing and such.
Whooping.
Yeah, whooping with joy. If only there was a reaction cam, and then suddenly Jamie starts rolling to wound. And we were like, what's going on? So we had to take it back.
Yep.
And Harry inexplicably lets him faint. Let's have a look at that.
Not trapped though. White dice are gone. Oh! daggers. Yeah, I have got access on them, but they do come with daggers. Gorn wouldn't, because I'd keep fight value.
Yeah, go on.
Yes!
Sportsmanship.
Yeah, sportsmanship award.
So, before we deal with the ramifications of this decision on Moore's part, what do you think? Harry lets him faint.
I mean, it's all very honourable of him to let Jamie re-roll that. Did it ultimately cost him the game? I think it did.
Probably.
You know, does he get any awards for letting Jamie do that? No.
Does he?
Does he? No. It was honourable of him. I think it was the wrong decision though. If it was me, I would have done that.
I mean, it's the classic thing, isn't it? This isn't fun.
No.
This isn't a fun game.
No.
This is a tournament
It
setting.
is, yeah.
And he hadn't declared fainting before he rolled to wound. He had forgotten.
Rule 101: declare you're fainting.
Yeah, declare you're fainting. And Harry lets him faint.
This is almost as if he felt sorry for Jamie for not rolling more than a 2.
I mean, you're right, he could have felt sorry for him. On the other hand, I wouldn't be surprised to see a whole other campaign jump up from this screaming fix.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
is there some part of Harry, do you think, that wanted the Wozers to win?
I think yes.
Like, Harry's known for his love of hobbits,
Yeah.
midgets,
Yeah.
Wozers, they ain't tall. I
Say
don't know,
something, isn't it?
maybe we don't know if they've made predictions.
We don't know. We don't know what happens behind the cameras.
But I just would not be surprised if a huge campaign got started about that as well.
Hint, hint.
But yes, he lets him do it.
Yeah.
Now, of course, in all honesty, it's very, very sporting.
Yeah.
I have the standard thing in tournament games where it's like, if there's nothing I could have done about it, you should do it. And in that case, of course, he would be fainting with the axes on the
He
belt
just forgot to.
of his Wozers. But he forgot to call
He
it.
just forgot to call it.
Harry lets him do it.
Yeah.
He re-rolls and he kills him. So well played, Harry. You know, well done to Harry, I think.
Yeah.
Because by the time this campaign gets launched, you'll be hated.
Yeah.
So well done. I think you did a very honourable thing there. But then that then allows him to go and support the other combats, balance up the odds. And I can't recall the exact difference he made in that turn, but that's a big swing.
Yeah.
The Rohan were outnumbered 2-1. Suddenly
Swung it.
it swings back, potentially catastrophically. There was an interesting moment at 8:30, which we can show you now, as Harry debates whether or not he should have shielded. So let's have a look at that.
Yeah.
Garn's in the white. Oh, not that matters anymore. 4. High fight takes it. They got
Twice.
4. 5's all round to wound.
Yeah.
Come on, 5, be lovely. Oh, God!
Gone.
You swinger!
Oh. Crucial.
What a swing.
Should I have shielded with both?
Should have, yeah. Probably.
Possibly haven't, but our pundits aren't fond of our shielding.
No, they're not, are they? Which
No.
makes no sense in my mind.
No, I think
They're
shield
not out
keeps you
here.
alive.
They don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Out in the battle.
Yeah.
Heat of battle.
Priority.
There we go. The pundits don't like our shielding, and to quote Jamie, they don't know.
What did you think of that? What did you make of it?
I think we know.
I think we know.
I think that's why we're here. Isn't
We're
it?
experienced
Yeah.
professionals.
I've shielded. Have you shielded?
I've shielded. We've been there, done that.
Yeah, I've been there. I don't know. We know.
I mean, in this
You
game.
don't know. If anyone doesn't know,
Yeah.
they don't know.
They don't know.
Yeah. We know.
I mean, you've got to kill this game. You don't get you don't get any prizes for.
Absolutely,
shielding.
we're all up for a bit of shielding if it's necessary.
If necessary, yeah.
And in that case, Harry, yes, you should have shielded. Of course you should. I think it was against Garn and won.
Yeah. What
Didn't
was it?
shield, both died. We were sitting there thinking, should have shielded. So yeah, we like shielding. I think in the next quarterfinal we actually said, oh, good shielding.
Good shielding. Yeah.
Good shielding when that would have
Yeah,
parried.
recall
You know,
it.
we like shielding.
Yeah.
What's that about? Don't
All
know.
depends at the right
No,
moment.
shield at the right time.
Yeah.
Don't shield when there's just no much to it.
Yeah.
Midget loving drunk. So yes, and then at the end, I think quite crucially, priority went to Wozers twice,
It did.
meaning
It did.
no throwing weapons.
No.
And the Wozers came through and won it with Garn and 1 left, I believe.
Yeah. 1 died from throwing weapon. It was close. It was really close.
You gotta say it's that heroic, it's that sporting.
It was. But Gon had a great game.
Gon did have a great game.
Took out Eowyn and the dude at the end. Took out two in that moment we just mentioned. I think
his heroic combat was huge.
Yeah.
Totally MVP there.
Yeah, definitely.
So against our prediction, the Wozers march on to the semi-final.
Who would have predicted that at the beginning? You know,
I don't
considering
know.
We didn't even call him to get out of the group.
It was a big swing.
Yeah.
So then we got on to the easier match to call, the whitewashing, Lothlorien against Morannons. Lothlorien had their day in the sun, their group in the sun.
We were quite confident this would be the end of the road for Lothlorien.
Yeah, and they've only got the one bow.
Yeah. And
their Lothlorien shooting did nothing.
Which we thought would probably be the case, even if you went for the spears.
Yeah.
Didn't kill anything. Lines clashed.
Absolutely. Right near the start.
Yeah.
Right march into Harry's space.
Yeah. Good.
Captain and 2 elves onto Grishnak as a result.
Yeah.
Harry calls a heroic combat. The right call.
Right, we said good call.
Good call, definitely. You got to go for it.
Yeah.
They kill the guy. Onto Grishnak. Last point of might to win.
To win the fight against the previous dude.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, sorry. So he's out of might. He's on Grishnak.
Yeah.
No guts, no glory. Wins the fight. Then this happened, and I mean, we're gonna let this run out because they discussed this for a while.
Okay, so they've all gone on to Grishnak with supports, and Grishnak is going to fight it.
Yeah, I'm going to go two-handed feint with him.
Yep.
Feinting with the captain.
Yep, Grishnak will feint as well.
Yeah.
Grishnak's in blue. It's a 5.
So 4 and 1, because I've got no might left.
6 wins it.
Just gets it.
So these guys back away.
Yeah. We won't come back away, can he?
Oh.
Yeah, that's
I think he's trapped, to be honest. I'm definitely not moving a full inch away from.
No, normally I'm quite lenient, but if it's the situation, it might be quite crucial.
So you win, striking.
So there we have it. Is he trapped, Joe?
I said no.
You said no.
I said he wasn't trapped.
So
no,
he
because
gets far enough away.
I thought if the spear support can move back up through that gap and move far enough out, there was about an inch of room for where we were looking. For
from our angle in the commentary box.
Our angle in the commentary.
So again, it's why you need Hawkeye.
You do. You really do.
So you need the baseline technology.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I thought he wasn't trapped.
And the point was he moved back, but maybe about half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, and for the first time they had a real discussion.
They did.
They had to. Well, I think he might be. I'm not sure. And I think the phrase from Harry was "I'm normally lenient," but do you think Harry was still thinking about the previous game?
I think he was.
Yeah.
I think he was playing in the back of his mind.
Absolutely. I've been stung before. He was thinking. I've been
Not
nice
this time.
before.
Yeah,
Not this time. I'm having this. So yeah, by the rules of the game, definitely trapped.
Yeah.
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 Fair enough.
Yeah.
But perhaps we don't back away.
Could have been a bit.
Do
we kind of just
But fair play to Jamie on that count. Again, Jamie probably equally felt a bit kind of like I had the one in the last thing.
Yeah.
So maybe the Morannons and the Rohan have suffered
as a
well
result
of sporting, which obviously is reflected in the results.
Yeah.
So yes. Then I think Jamie's then hoping he might survive, so that he kind of gets the sporting vote, but also survives. But he doesn't. Grishnak goes down. Jamie then is able to jump on
the captain,
on the Widow Captain, kill him. And let's watch this because the reaction was surprising.
My captain
Against my 2. I'll
he
fight
will
it.
Feint.
Both of which are fainting. We got 6.
Ooh,
5.
get it.
4s. Rerolling 1s.
He's not defense 5.
Defense 4.
Oh gosh and golly.
2 wounds. Yeah, your captain's dead as well now.
Oh, as if-
Oh, how'd you like them apples?
oh dear.
What did you make of that reaction then?
Well, it was strange, wasn't it? It was certainly I mean, it's good to celebrate, but
It
I
is.
believe the quote is, "How do you like them apples?" Now we haven't really brought fruit into things before.
We haven't, no.
It's rare to see that. Why was Jamie asking about Harry's fruit? Do you think?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think I was trying to get into his mind.
Maybe
Tactical
maybe
mind
it was,
games,
maybe
you
it
know.
was mind games. Harry's now thinking, I don't know how my apples are. Maybe I need to
I need
get
to,
home.
I need to check on
Yeah,
them.
check on
Yeah.
that. But
Lose concentration.
it was that was definitely. I mean, this was a mere minute and 20.
Yeah.
After his own captain had gone down,
Yeah.
that was letting out some frustration there.
It
I think
was.
from Giblin.
It was.
Yeah.
Didn't help him in the end, though, did it?
It didn't help him because spectacularly the Lothlorien army went on to win.
They did, yeah.
Say army, band of minnows.
They had, 3 left at the end? And they start off with
Yeah.
5.
Yes, they did.
Somehow they just don't die.
Yeah, I did think, again, it didn't help him. Jamie rolled so many sixes
Sixes,
to
he
win
did.
fights.
He
So
did.
many sixes. I
He
don't
did.
know how many.
No.
I wasn't counting because you don't realise.
You don't
there were
realise,
so
yeah.
many sixes. But yeah, it didn't help.
It
and
didn't help.
somehow
They
the
pulled it back again.
Lothlorien come through.
Again, which we never would have called.
Absurd. Absolutely absurd. We didn't have them getting out of the group stage. They are the Wales.
They are the Wales.
Lothlorien are the Wales, and it was the Rohan and the Iceland.
Yeah.
Rohan got found out.
Those people who put a cheeky little bet on Lothlorien.
It's
They'll
absurd.
be laughing now.
Absolutely
It
absurd.
is, yeah.
And actually, no, technically, Lothlorien could well be your Iceland. Because
Could.
they've got out of the group stage. They
Yeah.
inexplicably won a knockout.
Against a
and
team
then now-
who they weren't fancying that
Yeah,
against.
absolutely. So, and then probably next knockout.
They'll get a proper hiding.
Yes, we would think.
Yeah.
So, so well done to Lothlorien
Yeah.
and Harry, and well done to the Woses
Yep.
and
And
Jamie. Jamie was Woses.
Harry.
Jamie was Woses because Harry let him.
Of course, yeah.
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 So a win each. All's fair there. Just saying. So, well done. We've got them both wrong. Might have to pack up, call it a day here. Really. Know what that's about. And it does set up our first semi-final.
It does.
The Woses against
Lothlorien.
Lothlorien. Jay, who wins that?
I think now we've got to go for the other team. We're not hoping who's going to win because all our predictions are wrong today. I can't see Lothlorien getting a win. I really can't.
I agree, but I've said this 4 times now.
And we've been wrong all 4 times, yeah.
They can't beat the Woses.
All those shots on the Woses leading 4s to wounds, they're going to kill some else.
Yeah.
That one shot from the else isn't going to do enough to outweigh all those.
They've got 12 inch or 10 inch.
12 inch blowpipes.
I've been hurt before. 12 inch
12 inch blowpipes, yeah.
Yeah.
So Lothlorien,
So they've got to walk.
they've got to walk to get into 12
They
inch
could only
range.
have one turn, couldn't they? Because they
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
would get in. That on its own should decimate them.
Yeah. They'll take out, if they're lucky, Lothlorien will take out 1, maybe 2 before Woses are in range.
But let's not overrule the fact that they're certainly and inevitably going to win.
Yeah.
So
But we've been wrong before.
it's got to be
It's
Woses
got to be Woses.
getting, as they said, the Christmas round
Yeah.
draw through to the final.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the Woses camp. Anyone who's picked the Woses will be counting their lucky
They will.
stars for that one.
They've had a pretty, not I would say favourable draw, but
I mean, to be fair, I obviously didn't have them. I didn't have them going through because I had Rohan going through from that, and then
of course, yeah.
I would have had them playing the Moranas, which might have given them a fight. but
We never even backed them to get out of the group, let alone
madness,
get through to the
absolute
semis.
madness. So yep, wrong again there from us.
Just shows you how all the top teams can fall as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
It's another Djokovic
it is, yeah.
tumbling out of the
is.
competition there. So yeah, But I think equally, both the Morannons and Lothlorien there weren't anyone's particular favourite.
No.
They weren't ever likely to win it. So it was kind of both. They had quite a lucky. They both had quite a lucky quarterfinal run.
Yeah.
But yes, so our semi-final prediction for that is Roses to win that.
Yeah.
But we all know it's going to be Lothlorien. So that's the end of match of the day for today. It's been a bumper edition because we had to address the Justice for Dale. We were catching up with Jay's predictions.
Yeah.
But we will be returning tomorrow evening with our second set of quarterfinals, which are Isengard versus the Shire and Goblin Town versus Minas Tirith. So tune in throughout the day tomorrow to watch those games, and then be sure to be back here tomorrow at 10 PM to catch up on all the action in match up of the day. Until then, don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe.
Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Support your Hobbit host by clicking on the links below.
Support your Hobbit hobby.
And happy strategy battle game.